MSB here, and it's time for a serious sneak peek. Today we'll be looking at the Hex Alpha. The Hex Alpha was just recently released, and I was lucky enough to have gotten access. So let's take a look. To begin, this is the home page for the Hex Alpha. From the home page, you can select a few different options. You can select Play Now to challenge a live opponent, the Card Manager where you can review your collection and build decks, the Social tab where you can manage your friends and ignore lists, and last, there's the World Map. Now this is a fantastic representation, and obviously the campaign mode will be coming soon. But my favorite part is the Hex Meteor, which is shown here orbiting Entrath. The best part about this map interface is that you can see that there's lots of room for the map to expand, and lots of different areas for you to find as the campaign grows. And not only that, but because they've got the space showing here, you could even possibly have a mission on the Hex Meteor, or perhaps if there's other meteors that hit, or other orbiting bodies. Theoretically, if you wanted to, you could also move to another planet if you added an additional interface. There just seems to be a lot of room for growth. And of course, the primary feature, which is where the meteor struck Entrath and passed through the core. You know there's got to be a ring you have to throw in there or something. So, heading back to the home page, let's go ahead and take a look at the Card Manager. Now, the Card Manager can either be selected from the button here, or you can select Build Deck on the button down here. Here's where you're able to sort through your collection, and obviously for Alpha, there is a limited playset of cards available currently. Cryptozoic have said that they'll be adding more in as the Alpha proceeds. They likely want to be testing batches of cards for functionality. So, up at the top is where you see all of the different cards that you have. And to the right here, you can select which card types and shards are displayed, and there's also an advanced tab for classes, rarities, sockets. I love that it shows 1 and 2. The concept of a 2-socket card blows my mind. In addition, here's the deck menu. This allows you to load already created decks, save new decks, see your deck stats, and delete decks. Let's go ahead and create a new deck. Name the deck Generic Sly. And we'll make this one simple. Let's go ahead and deselect everything other than Ruby and Artifacts. And let's go ahead and add in a few cards. All you have to do is double click on the pictures, and then that will start to add the cards. 4 Burns. Let's do 3 Furious Taskmasters. 4 Arena Brawlers. 4 Ragefires. 4 Unmerciful Tormentors. 4 Savage Raiders. 4 Arena Veterans. 3 Zoltogs. 3 Burn to the Grounds. And 3 Chargebots, sure. You deselect cards or you remove cards by double-clicking them on the deck section. And then we'll throw in 24 resources. Now, the blank button here is where you select your champion. Now, as you can tell, there are some graphical errors on this, but those will all be fixed up before we proceed much further into Alpha, I'm sure. Obviously, Cryptozoic wants this to be as polished as possible. So we're going to select Polka the Conflagrator. And then we'll go ahead and save our deck. Another great part about this menu is the deck stats option. After selecting the deck you'd like, it'll give you a breakdown on the costs associated, the card ratios, the amount of threshold your cards required, including the average threshold value, and you can also do a test draw, creating a new hand, drawing an additional card, or simulating a mulligan. Obviously, the graphics for these statistics will be improved, and I'm sure there's going to be some fantastic, intuitive layouts, so you can really get a clear understanding of your deck with just a glance. And now we'll go back to the home page, and let's take it for a spin against the AI. You have two options in the Hex Alpha. You can either play against the AI, or you can play a game against live opponents. Challenging the AI allows you to select your deck. We'll do generic Sly. And challenge. Of course, it starts off with a traditional coin flip. And you draw your hand of 7 cards. Wow. Amazingly terrible hand. Much better. You can easily pass priority by hitting the spacebar. And it looks like my opponent has nothing to play this turn. I play a resource. And then lay down a Savage Raider. My opponent plays a second resource and drops a Living Totem. I pass priority to allow it into the game. I get my main phase, drop a resource, burn the totem, attack, and lay in a Merciful Tormentor. My opponent drops a third resource, plays Inner Conflict, and ends. I play my third resource, attack, and then drop a Veteran Gladiator to ensure I can keep getting through. The 2 Rage Fires I have in my hand will either burn the opponent or kill creatures to ensure my troops can keep coming through. He plays Righteous Paladin, which I don't care about. I lay my 4th resource, use my Champion Charge Power to summon a Blaze Elemental, and attack with all my creatures that are able to. Due to the Veteran Gladiator's ability to prevent a troop from blocking, I can now select any troop in the opponent's war zone. Obviously, he only has 1. I deal damage. And I won't cast my Rage Fires until I can actually swing for lethal. He foolishly attacks. And obviously, the AI also has some tuning to go through. Remember, this is just the alpha phase. We're looking at the absolute bare bones of the game. Everything in this game is going to be improved as the alpha proceeds, and we get closer to beta, where everyone can start jumping in. I draw a card. And I'll be able to swing for lethal. after casting my Rage Fires. When casting my first Rage Fire, I can select any target on the field. I target the opponent champion, hit him for 2. I then cast my other Rage Fire to win the game. And victory! See, this page used to be a set of fireworks, but remember these graphics will also get improved, and there will also be game stats available. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please take the time to subscribe, and be sure to leave a comment on what kind of Hex content you'd like to see on my channel. As always, I'm MSB, wishing you good games and good times.